deferring and you're expecting to have a chance to double up, so to speak. That's what changes the game. The middle 8 of the game, we haven't played well in the second 4.
Colts Steelers. Let's take a look at both teams in this matchup. See, Rodgers and the Steelers have a 48% chance to win their division, the AFC North, according to ESPN Analytics. That's the best of any team in the AFC North. Meanwhile, the Colts have a 45% chance to earn the number 1 seed and home field advantage throughout the playoffs. That is the highest of any team in the AFC. So, Dan, what is more likely? The Colts finishing this season as the number 1 seed in the AFC, or the Steelers holding on and winning the AFC North?
Yeah, I'm going to say the Colts as the 1 seed. One, I think offensively, it's probably the second hardest offense in the league just to match up with people-wise. I'm going to give it to Kansas City because Kansas City's Kansas City and Rasheed and Travis and Xavier. But when you come to like this Colts offense, you look like, okay, I'll ask you guys this. Guess what wide receiver leads the NFL in yards per catch?
Alec Pierce?
Alec Pierce. Alec Pierce is going over 22 a catch. So you got to have, and he's 6'3", 6'4". So you got to have someone that got to match up with him and then match up with Pittman and match up with Tyler Warren and match up with Downs. By the way, one of the most athletic offensive lines in the NFL, led by Quentin Nelson. Then a back that stop-start is absolutely sensational. So this offense ain't going to clip a beat. Right now, this offense is averaging 7 yards per play. 7 yards per play would put them in a conversation halfway through the season with like greatest show on turf.
Slow down.
That's what they are. That's where they are numbers-wise halfway through the season. That's how good this offense is. And schematically, I know MK and Ryan would agree with me, it's probably schematically the most complete football team in the NFL when it comes to like the ability to just be so game plan specific. And so I don't think the Colts are really going to slow down. We know they're in a division that is relatively weak. Houston's offense is not nearly as good as their defense. Tennessee's in absolute turmoil, and Jacksonville's been a little bit up and down lately. I still think the Steelers have a very specific way to play. So if they can play that way offensively, they're going to be fine. But I don't think Indy's going to slow down anytime soon.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, it doesn't even matter how the Pittsburgh Steelers play on offense. Yeah, they do have a particular brand of ball that suits them, but you just got to be better on the defensive side of the ball.
Do you think they can?
And I'm watching that game, and one of the more frustrating plays, and this is, I know Marcus joked with you about the Tucker Kraft tape, but you should have showed that, right? We think about, he goes in motion, Deshaun Elliott's following him. They just counting the numbers. They get the football out. No one's running to the ball.
Right.
There's no effort. There's no strain. That's an issue.
Right.
And when you watch the Colts defensively, Lou Anarumo was an outcast, right? Lou Anarumo took the blame for what goes on in went on in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
They're replacing players that get knocked out pregame just running around.
Yeah.
And they're finding ways to make stops. And you talked about the completeness or the total offensive packages that they got. It's also the way this team complements one another. And complementary football isn't just offense plays well, defense plays well, special teams plays well. They play in a way where the defense feeds the offense feeds the defense. The special teams does the same thing. I have much more faith that they can have the number 1 seed than the Pittsburgh Steelers winning the AFC North, which is sad because the North isn't even good right now.
Yep.
I 1,000% agree with you. First of all, I think Indy could win the number 1 seed, period. I don't need to throw the Steelers into the equation to even throw it up as a potential debate. There is no debate here. I don't see them beating the Indianapolis Colts this weekend. Would it surprise me if they lost to Baltimore after that? I'm looking at a Steelers defense that is relatively non-existent. It's so bad in Pittsburgh defensively right now. We don't even want to mention the word steel curtain. We don't even want to mention it. It hurts our feelings. I mean, it really does. It's just the truth. And so when I look at Jonathan Taylor running that football, when I look at Daniel Jones throwing that football, when I look at Steichen and that offense and what they bring to the table, total offense, scoring offense, and the way that they have been balling, there's no doubt in my mind that the Indianapolis Colts have a significantly better chance of ending up with the number 1 seed than the Steelers have of winning the AFC North.
Mina?
I'll make it a clean sweep. I agree. The Colts are, to me, just an absolute juggernaut right now. Dan, we went back and forth a little bit about Dallas and whether their defense is historically bad. We agree that this offense has the potential to be historically good. Right now, they are on pace to average the fewest punts per game in NFL history. I mean, they score a touchdown or field goal every time they get into the red zone. They're so balanced. They're so good at running the football. They challenge you. Daniel Jones is throwing all over the field. He's throwing deep. He's throwing under pressure. The skill players are unbelievably hard to match up with. And the defense, as we've been discussing, is very, very good at individual game planning. And it's kind of honestly remarkable if you compare them to Pittsburgh, right? Because on paper, you could argue that Pittsburgh actually has more talent on defense in that front seven, but the Colts appear to be better coached and more difficult to match up with. The flip side of this question, since we have brought the Steelers into it, is do we believe the Ravens can jump them, right?
Yes.
I 100% think the Ravens can jump them. Their schedule is so soft. The offense is finally healthy. And the defense, while they've been bad, really bad, we're starting to see some improvement with some personnel changes, and I wouldn't be surprised if they continue adding. So I think the Colts have a good chance at this, and I think the Ravens do win the AFC North.
Also, too, Pete, I mean, but Tyler Warren is one of the best offensive players in the entire NFL.
He's a first-team All-Pro. He's a rookie.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I just think, you can't mention what that offense is doing, even Daniel Jones and Jonathan Taylor, without thinking about the ways Shane Steichen utilizes Tyler Warren.
Yeah. And he's a big, strong hand, contested catch guy. Yeah.
One of the reasons I made that face is because we haven't seen him on primetime. A lot of us are watching the Colts on maybe to be honest, red zone, and you see a couple highlights, and you see these film breakdowns where you see these gaping holes, and you're like, okay, I guess that's good. They haven't had that premier game. This is a game against a premier team in the Steelers. A lot of people have been watching. The 99 Rams, they came from out of nowhere also. So this could be a good comparison.
A little bit of a cast-off quarterback.
Cast-off.
Here we go.
Consistently elite enough to overcome a historically poor performing defense.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. I think what Mina said at the top of this is the most important. Brian Schottenheimer deserved this job, and he's earned the right to continue to do this job, even with this defense playing at the poor level they're playing at. And then, we gave him a hard time when he talked about the difference in Cincinnati last year and Dallas, because they also had a poor defense last year. You could hang your hat on Joe Burrow playing at that level week in and week out. You can do the same for T. Higgins. You can do the same for Jamar Chase. The ups and downs of the Dallas Cowboys offense is what makes you a little bit skeptical about, even if they go out and get a playmaker, which you need more on defense, could this team be good enough to make a run to the playoffs? And I just don't think they can. The problem that I saw against the Chicago Bears and also against the Denver Broncos, though, is that sometimes this defense is so poor, they put Dak and this offense at a disadvantage because now you take Javonte Williams out of the play, right? Out of play. You can't give him the ball. You can't consistently run. And to me, that's when we've seen Dak's play take a step back.
First things first.
Let's go.
When it comes to Brian Schottenheimer, allow me to say this. The man got the job. Obviously, Jerry Jones was perceived as taking the shortcut or whatever. I can't believe this. I'm actually a fan of Brian Schottenheimer.
Let's go.
Totally. Absolutely.
I'm actually a fan of his.
Totally.
I genuinely like him. When you think about somebody like a Wade Phillips, for example, he was a likable guy as your head coach, a good man, which obviously he had the right pedigree with his dad and all of this other stuff. But at the end of the day, you knew something was missing. You don't get that whatever is missing from the Dallas Cowboys is because of Brian Schottenheimer. You got that with Jason Garrett. You did. You just call it what it is. Doing a good job on NBC. Congratulations, not knocking them. But when he was there, you thought something was missing from the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. How many times you just gonna applaud no matter what's going wrong with y'all? That ain't what we seeing from Brian Schottenheimer. What we seeing from Brian Schottenheimer was some things we saw from Marty Schottenheimer. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, listen, we all know that Marty Schottenheimer was a hell of a coach. Okay?